Welcome everyone back to Spiritual Selfish channel and welcome everyone back to Courage channel. So this is actually gonna be a joint live interview, conversation-based interview on both our channels. And for those of you guys who are tuning in from my channel and don't know Kara yet, so if you're not familiar with Kara, she's basically a quantum healer, mindset coach, and she really focuses on reprogramming subconscious mind through integrating spiritual, mental, and physical levels. So this is so exciting and really deep work. And I'm actually very excited to have Kara as a quantum healer in my upcoming course, which is the Shadow Work course. And I'll share about it more at the end, so definitely stay tuned. But yeah, I'm so excited to have you here, Kara.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so pumped to dive into all of this. And yeah, for everyone who is from my channel watching it here and you don't know who Kristina is, Kristina Day is a spiritual teacher, a frequency activator, and she guides people on their spiritual awakening, which is really, really powerful. So she focuses on a lot of shadow work to break free from the old conditioning, raising consciousness to help you come back to your natural high vibrational state. And really excited to chat today about the work that both of us do, because the shadow work and the quantum healing, they're very similar in a lot of ways in terms of what we're working towards and the goal that we have. And yeah, the overall outcome that people can see from doing that kind of work.
Yeah, Kara, you literally took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say, how quantum healing is actually a huge part of, shadow work. And
Mhm.
before actually, experiencing a quantum healing with you, I had no really you know understanding of what quantum healing it really is. My mouth, it sometimes feels really woo woo and out there, same as shadow work. What is the shadow work? But it's only, those spiritual terms. And with this, guys, video will go into deeper what is quantum healing and what shadow work is. We'll share more of our personal stories, how we even got into this type of work, because believe us, it wasn't a smooth ride always, and
No.
isn't. And we'll also share a little bit more about what to expect in, for example, a quantum healing session, what to expect when you do your shadow work and heal
Mhm.
your old baggage, and how life can change once you do this type of work. So I'm very excited to dive in. And definitely, guys, if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. We'll both will be there answering. So let's start with you, Kara. Quantum healing. It sounds, for me, it sounded really like fifth dimensional and really advanced technique. But what it is, in in a simple words.
Yeah. I know, like, I feel like the name itself makes it sound even more complicated, but the reality of it is that we're just connecting. I mean, maybe this is complicated, but we're connecting to like that 0 point level of consciousness. So right now we're all very much living in this three-dimensional physical world where, we're very limited to what we can see, and we tend to believe that, like, this is it, and this is the limitation, and this is where the wall is or the block is. And when we tap into the quantum field, we're in that place of limitless possibilities where anything can happen. And we look at the fact that there really is no time, past, present, future. It all exists at the same time, which also means that we can heal and shift memories or traumas or experiences from our past that created a really deep energetic imprint, something that made us feel really hurt or unworthy or something like that. And we can do the healing work on that memory, that specific experience, and help to release whether it had created a mental block, like a physical manifestation, a physical block, or just that energetic block around who we think we are and what we're capable of. So I don't know if that kind of like summarizes it in a sense. There's so much to say, so much I could go into. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And I love what you said, it's that zero, level of
Mhm.
consciousness, which actually I never heard. I kind of say quantum because for me, it's like, yeah, it's quantum field because quantum is everywhere.
Yeah.
And we are, we consist of quantum particles of this like everything and nothing at the same time. So I love what you said. It's quite simple. It's just like level zero. Um, and we all are making up this quantum.
Mhm.
So same, all of our experiences of our pain, traumas, fears, anything that didn't recycle, didn't process,
Yeah.
where does it go? It doesn't go anywhere.
Mhm.
If you suppressed it, it was not able to leave your that state of zero, that consciousness of yours. So you're walking around with it.
Holding it.
Exactly, like, that's what I'm saying. Shadow work is releasing your old baggage.
Mhm.
And quantum healing. And I've done sessions with you, and it really was really, really profound because I remember the first quantum healing session we did with you on me was the timeline repair.
Mhm.
And I, 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 I believe it was around money, how I felt about money. Um, and it made me realize how much anger I had towards my parents,
Mhm.
towards the culture I grew up in. Um, and actually, I had to rewatch the testimonial video before this call to remember what did we do in our first session. Because, guys, the thing is, once you heal and you remove the root, the emotional charge around specific event really goes away, that
Yeah.
sometimes it's so hard to actually remember it because it left your consciousness, right?
Yeah, it's something that we don't realize we're so attached to usually. Like these stories might be like, I know when we did that session, that memory was not necessarily something you were thinking about every single day. It was just kind of like, ooh, you know what? This feels like a memory where some of this might have started or where there was, yeah, like emotional pain or beliefs created. But the second we do that healing, like you said, you just end up leaving it behind. Like the more I do this work, the more I've really restructured my consciousness around like who I am and what my experiences were. And it's not like I'm erasing the experiences that have happened, but I'm erasing the charge. I'm erasing like the emotional pain that they created. So I'm able to just see it as either like the positive, the lessons, the blessings. I'm able to see that I was still always supported. I'm able to see that it's not a limitation, it's not who I am. And like that is where the freedom comes, where then we're able to move through because we're not attached and identified to our struggle the same way that we were before.
Yeah, 100%. It's not saying that, the event didn't happen. It's just, bringing more awareness, looking
Mhm.
at it from new perspective, from a higher perspective, that, it's not just happening to you but
Yeah.
actually for you. It's such a cliche nowadays in
Yeah.
self-development, but it truly is. When something is happening to us, we're so in with our face in it
Mhm.
that sometimes we are losing logical sense, especially if it happened when we're as a kids.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm so passionate about shadow work, because I was just mind blown and swooped away with when I started doing my shadow work unconsciously,
Mhm.
healing those limiting beliefs, becoming aware of it. I was like, wait, my whole life I was just operating from old programs, from other people projections and past traumas of mine. Um, and the belief I will heal, I will release, and I will just notice how quickly
Mhm.
my perspective of life, who I am, and other people will change. And this is, yeah, just for me,
Yeah.
why it's not thought. in schools.
Yeah. I know, it's so crazy. I think, like, imagine if we all had this awareness growing up and this ability to realize, like, yeah, we are not our circumstances, and we don't have to see ourselves in such a limited way, because our current reality keeps us very much like in a box,
Mhm.
whereas when you connect to the quantum field, you are infinite, and like there's zero limitations, everything's a possibility. And as you said before, since everything's energy and energy is all connected, that means like we can become whatever we want, we can attract whatever we want, just by connecting in that kind of space. um so yeah, I wish everyone learned it.
Yeah,
Seriously.
well, this is why, we go through this,
Hmm.
and then we pass on this on to others.
Yeah.
And I would love for us to dig a little bit on our personal stories, because sometimes we may listen to people on YouTube or anywhere and put them on the pedestal. Oh, she's a quantum healer. Oh, Christina can channel or whatever, and it feels so far away.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you guys, when you start to do the work and actually releasing that old garbage out of your consciousness, you just return back to your natural state. And you
Hmm.
know being able to heal yourself in quantum, being able to channel, in my opinion, is our not even a birthright, it's our quality of who we are,
Yeah.
right, as a soul. So Kara, can you share some maybe personal stories about where were you and how did you got in such a transformational work?
Yeah. So, I mean, I was someone who, for as long as I could remember, had the most extreme anxiety and insecurities. And yeah, I was kind of stuck in a lot of struggles for most of my life. And then when I was 18, my brother passed away in a sudden accident. And a couple years after that, I was sexually assaulted. And then about a year after that, I hit black ice driving across Canada. I flipped and rolled my car 4 times. And it was like I just felt like I kept hitting rock bottom over and over again. And through each of those really big struggles, I realized that like I was in such immense pain, but I didn't want to spend the rest of my life there. And I just felt like there has to be a way through and a way to kind of like heal or overcome my story, overcome my circumstance. And that sent me traveling the world by myself, working with different coaches and healers, and really diving into like I was super weird about energy work when I was younger. Like I was very judgmental about it. I didn't believe in meditation or mindfulness or any of that. And it was just through these experiences that then like I started to open up and give all of these different things a try. And that's where I started to see the progress and see the shifting. And so it's only been in the last year that I dove like really deep into quantum healing itself, because I had done so much with subconscious reprogramming, and I noticed like it radically changed my life and helped me really separate from my traumas and my pain. And then I started to learn about, yeah, the quantum field, and I was like, oh my gosh, I already kind of do some of this without knowing it or without realizing it. So like let's learn and do this the right way. And that helped me manifest an incredible dream house on the beach in LA. I've met the most amazing people. I've totally stepped into a new level of self-worth in my business and in my life. And a lot of these things really came from doing that inner work. So that's like my story in a nutshell. Do you want to share yours, Kristina?
Yeah, for sure, but let me first add, like, this is such a mind-blowing story. I mean, having your brother pressing away sexual assaulted and then, flipping in a car multiple times. I'm like, just listening to this is like, whoa, girl, what? It sounds like all right.
Yeah.
But I've heard this story on multiple times. But when you were speaking now, I had this voice in my head that would you say that this kept happening because you had certain, so to speak, beliefs, frequencies in your energetical field that kept attracting, events,
Yeah.
you know um yeah. So for anyone who's listening, and because me and Kara, we understand each other from
Yeah.
half a word, but what I mean there is, Kara had a certain belief or energetical frequency in her energetical field, which is stored as, maybe lack of self-worth or trauma, fears, and so on. And as long as it sits there, as long as we do not release it, it continues to attract
Yeah.
similar experiences into our life. So, guys, think about your life. Where do I have encountered reoccurring patterns in my relationship? How I see myself? Why it is so? Why other people don't attract it, but I do.
Yeah.
Because I definitely have had as well, recurring patterns in my life, and a lot of them were around that I had to work hard. That if
Mhm.
I want something in my life, I freaking need to go and do it by myself. Because yeah, in childhood I didn't feel supported by my parents or authority figure. So I felt if I don't take responsibility and charge of my own hands, I
Mhm.
will just be an average human. And I was like, this is not who I am. So I fall into that paradigm of I need to be a go-getter.
Yeah.
And but I also had huge mindset of lack, that
Mhm.
oh, things not gonna work out for me, something has to go wrong.
Yeah.
And for example, I will apply for a job and they will tell me no, but then a week later they will call me back and yeah, we want you. And it used to happen again and again. And then I will go to US and I will be rejected in visa. Next year I will get the visa and will go, but I will break my foot. And like all
Mhm.
of this inadequate patterns start happening, and I realized I actually had a belief that I have to struggle
Yeah.
before I can receive something. You don't that life cannot be that simple, and I really had to put a lot of work and feel that compassion and do inner child healing, with what is part of shadow work. And
Mhm.
you can do this through quantum healing as well. But yeah, this is my long way of saying that nothing happens in our life for no reason. It
Yeah.
happens there only because this is who you are. So
And it's
everything can be changed.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's crazy how many of us believe that we have to struggle in order to then have something good. Like
Mm,
it is kind of a big part of our programming where it's like, yeah, you have to work really hard, or like you have to hit rock bottom first, or like I think it does stem to a lot of our unworthiness and stuff like that. That's also passed down from parents and generations before us. And yeah, it's really like the patterns, when we do become aware of them, we can start to see, okay, if I start to change my beliefs and my energy around this, then I can break out of that cycle. Yeah, so I love everything you shared. Like I
yeah.
yeah, where you're just like it has to be hard for me. And so that's what you manifested.
Yeah, exactly. And then people tell, well, it's so hard, I cannot manifest. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You are such a badass manifester that you continue to manifest the hard life. um,
Mhm.
but yeah, this is like I could go in this forever, but I would love to start, wrapping up things here.
Mhm.
And we kind of touched on here a little bit, how important it is to heal yourself, to release those unhelpful patterns.
Mhm.
But can you give us a quick overview, vision, what can happen, once you do quantum healing, one session, three sessions, what's the life on the other side?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, I mean, the more you connect to that, to the quantum field, the faster you will notice results, just because you're constantly shifting your perception of reality. Like if you're just doing your day-to-day life all the time, you're very much grounded in this reality. So that's where all these different tools are so powerful each day. Um, But yeah, through the quantum healing work, like one session alone can help you really heal and release a deep memory or deep experience of trauma or pain, and open you up to way more possibilities around you. And I've had clients who after a couple sessions ended up manifesting their dream jobs and like having better pay, or bumping into like their dream partner randomly, and it's just because they're finally more open and receptive to that reality and to those things showing up. So again, the more you do it, like this has become a daily part of my life, even if it's like brief, just connecting to the field and to that possibility, or to what it is I want to call in. And that has been an insane part of the manifestations that I shared earlier around my own life, just from doing this work, and um, constantly bringing myself back into like, I see that I'm limiting myself around what's possible, and I look at the traumas or the beliefs around it. Why do I think it's not possible? And then I do my quantum healing to connect in to the other possibilities and like do that releasing work. Um, so yeah, and I know that's very similar probably to some parts of your shadow work course around, like, we need to look at the shadow. We can't avoid it. We want to look at where these things are showing up and do the work so that then you can get to the other side.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I just realized in the beginning we didn't mention what really shadow is. And shadow is, guys, what we just talked about. There's light, there's shadow, and shadow is what is in our unconscious mind, is that what we are not aware of, those patterns, imprints, programs, subconscious programs. So once you become aware of it, it moves into light, and then you can work with it, you can heal it, you can release it. And yeah, absolutely, now for me it also became part of my daily life. And if I don't meditate, and like as same as you, I resisted meditation so much. Like I was like, I just don't get it, it's boring.
Yeah.
But now, if at least 5 minutes a day, we are so busy, we're doing so much stuff. And what I find now, meditation, how I see it, it is like putting your phone onto charge. You're going into that meditation, closing your eyes, you know connecting with the source, with the quantum, and just literally hooking yourself up with the light. And this is something I will also teach you guys how to do in the shadow work course, so you can recharge yourself.
Mm.
um but yeah, I'm just sometimes thinking, like, can you imagine, most people do not do this.
Yeah,
Most
that's why
people
they're
have
so
no access to
exhausted.
these tools.
Yeah, yeah, they're so exhausted, so drained. And you really, I think, because when we don't have that connection, that is where we become more stuck in our story and in that victim mindset of like, everything's happening to me, and like bad things keep happening, I don't have control. And it really is when we start to connect to ourselves, to source, and see our infinite power, it's like you feel this new level of like, oh my gosh, I really am a conscious creator, and everything in my reality, um, I have created in one way or another, like consciously or unconsciously. So yeah, I love that you just mentioned like a phone charger, like hooking in to recharge yourself and get yourself
Mm.
back into alignment.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think it should be everyone's responsibility to figure out
Yeah.
and have access to these tools, because once you do it, like, you'll never go back. And trust me, guys. And yeah, this is why I'm creating the shadow work course. And I want this to be a toolbox, because as you can see, not me, not Kara, no one is gonna be enlightened at the end, because if the moment you will be enlightened, you're not going to be on this
Yeah.
earth. This is why it's ongoing process, and this is why it's so important, how to deal with your shadow, how to deal with your past pain, so that you're not falling on into it on autopilot. And this is what the shadow work course is all about. And yeah, Kara is one of the experts I will be bringing in, so you'll have the access to one of many sessions.
Mhm.
One of them will be quantum healing session that you can repeat over and over again. So Kara, can you share a little bit more about the session that will be part of the course?
Yeah, yeah. So the session that I'm sharing with you, I'm so excited about. We are going into into the shadow, into those things that, what's going to be really powerful about it is, as I mentioned with Christina's session when we worked together privately on quantum healing, is that you might not even realize some of these beliefs or insecurities or anxieties or traumas that you're storing. But in this meditation and this healing I'm going to guide you through is that you're going to connect with a lot of these parts of the shadow, a lot of these things that you are carrying, and we're going to heal them, separate and release them so that then you can feel reborn as a more true embodiment of yourself, like feel more free, more light as you come back. And this is where I would highly recommend for all of those who join the shadow work course, like practice this meditation every day if you can, or at least a few times a week, because every single time you do it, you're going to be surprised that, oh my gosh, there's like even more layers coming out, and there's even more insecurities or traumas or things I didn't realize I was carrying. And every time you're just releasing, removing, and constantly coming back more to your true infinite self. Yeah.
Oh my God. I am so excited to go through that meditation. So yeah, guys, like obviously Kara is doing quantum healing besides my course. If you want to book a session with her, I think you're also doing like packages, right? So
Yes.
definitely if you feel called to go check her out, you'll find all the links in the description box down below. And for those of you who, considering joining the shadow work course, I'm actually doing the beta program round in 2 weeks from in in 2 weeks as this video will go out. So if you want to join, definitely sign up for the wait list. And if you are listening this, months after we record this, there will be probably a link to buy the course. All right. So
Hmm.
I'm so
This is
excited for
the
everyone.
this is
Yeah.
the live round. So for anyone watching right now, this is the best time because you get to work right with Kristina. And I just want to quickly say, like, I'm so excited for this course and what you're creating, because I don't think enough people understand shadow work or understand what it entails or how to do it. And so they are kind of stuck in their patterns or their programming. So I'm like really, really looking forward to seeing all the transformations that you help people come to through this kind of work.
Thank you, Kara, so much. I really, really appreciate these words. Yeah, I feel shadow work is not even, on in the mainstream of,
Hmm.
self-development,
Yeah.
because it's all about manifestation, law of attraction. But hey, you attract what you are, what your field is. So if you want to manifest consciously, you first need to get rid of
You.
the old baggage.
Yeah, you can't manifest or use, like, you're not going to be able to tap in and utilize law of attraction very well if you're still holding a lot of that pain and a lot of
Yeah,
that.
you're
Yeah.
just gonna you're just gonna manifest that pain.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, guys, so to sum this up, we are attracting what we are
Mhm.
through holding and, storing our past experiences in the quantum field. And this is why it's so powerful to clear that field on different levels:
Mhm.
physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And a lot of it comes through shadow work. A lot of it also comes through quantum healing. And the shadow work course will be divided in 4 sections. So the first one, we're going to be looking at your, shadow self. What are the emotions that you suppressed as a child? What do you believe about anger? What do you believe about sadness, happiness? And really looking at yourself, and then we'll move into ego death. I know it might sound a little bit intimidating, but it's all about, your human ego. What's the identity you're holding onto? What's your belief system? Your dynamics in relationships and so on. Then we'll move into healing your inner child, forgiveness, like everyone's favorite part, to forgive everyone, quotes. We'll also have their other experts, which is exciting. And then at the end, we'll go into acceptance and presence, and how to integrate all of this, and how to stop living in the past, how not to worry about the future, but come back to yourself in the present moment and create consciously versus on autopilot from your old beliefs. And then we'll have a whole section of bonus section of experts, and Kara will be one of them. So
Mhm.
if it calls to you, definitely sign up, either for the beta round, either when the course is going to be alive. But yeah, Kara, thank you so much for being here, for taking the time, for being part of
Mhm.
this incredible course. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions, just let us know in the comments. Connect to us on Instagram,
Mhm.
and we're happy to be of service.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I'm so excited. Yeah, for everyone who watched this, thank you for being here. And please don't ever underestimate the power of doing this kind of work, because from all of the things out there, all of those external or like band-aid solutions, the inner work is always where you're going to get the most transformation. So I highly recommend connecting with Kristina and joining the shadow work course, and doing this and taking control over your life.
Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you. Bye.
Bye.